Now we have an app which is able to receive push notifications. Let's send a Hello World message. There are 4 ways to send push notifications. The easiest is from the web console in Parse. There is no code involved. Let's open the parse.com, find our app, click Push Notifications and send a push. Here you can write down the message that you want to send to the app. You can also decide a specific time to send the push notifications. You can choose UTC, your time zone, or use each user's respective time zone. For example, if you want to send a good morning message to each user at 8 o'clock at their local time, you can choose to send their push notification at each user's respective time zone. Then you won't disturb anyone at night. You can decide when the push notification expires. This notification will be sent to devices which are online within 1 hour. Click Send Notification. The message is shown on my iPhone now. You can read about the status of the push notification under the Push Notifications tab. The web console offers easy and flexible way to send push notifications, but it can be too much work to send notifications manually all the time. We can let a client app to send a push to reduce some manual work. Since we have enabled the client push on the settings for the Market app, we can send a push from the app itself. Let's come back to the Xcode. After a seller adds a new item in Parse, we will send a push to all the users who have subscribed channel book. First, we initiate an instance of PF push, which defines a push notification that can be sent from a client device. Then set the channel to book, so all the users who have subscribed this channel will receive the push. Set the message. At last, send the push in background. Let's run the app and add 1 new item. Now 1 push is sent to my mobile. If you want to send to more channels, you can use Set Channels method to send the push to multiple channels. Normally, it is enough to send push notifications to the users in different channels. But sometimes we need to send pushes to more specific group, which is called advanced targeting. In Parse, every device has an installation which describes the device type, channels, time zone, and other information related to push notifications. Installations are also objects, so we can use query to find the installations that fulfill a specific condition and send pushes to the devices with these installations. Here we use query to limit the group of devices which we are going to send push to. Our query finds iOS devices and channel subscribers. Then we send the push notification to this specific group. Maybe some users want to get more information in the push notification. We can achieve this by adding more information on the current installation object to make more specific query on installations. Storing data on the installation object is same as storing any other data on Parse. Here we add 1 field called Show Details and set it to be Yes. Then we can search the devices which has Show Details as Yes and send more details in the push notification only to them. Parse has given you a lot of possibilities to make push notifications. I have just shown a small part in my demo. You can check Parse document and make more experiments by yourself. Although it is convenient to send push notifications in our app, it is not a safe choice. The main reason is that malicious users can get the client key and use it to send pushes to the app users. It is very easy to do it in JavaScript that connects to Parse. The client key is in plain text. So to be more safe, we send push notifications from Cloud Code instead. In this way, our code stays in the Parse server and won't be reviewed on the client side. What is Cloud Code? Cloud Code is JavaScript code which runs in the Parse cloud. It gives you the possibility to run complex logic on the server side. For example, we can make an after-save trigger for our app in Cloud Code. After a user has saved an item, the cloud code will send out a push notification. Let's see how it works. It takes 3 steps to start working with cloud code. We need to install the cloud code in our Mac. Then add a function which sends out push notifications. Finally, deploy the code to parse. First, you need to open your terminal and install the parse tool with this command. Then we use the command parse new to create a directory which we are going to save the cloud code. Then put the email and password which you use for parse login. Select the app which you will run cloud code for. Then we get a folder, and it contains some automatically generated files. A file called main.js contains all the functions that you will deploy to the cloud. Here there is already a cloud function called hello. We can add our function below it. Our function will be triggered after an item is added in the item table. We can use query to find the installations which subscribes to the channel book. Then send a message with a new item's name to the devices. After we have modified the main.js file, we go to the terminal and deploy it to parse. After the cloud code is deployed successfully, we can remove the push sending from our code and then add one new item in the app. My mobile gets the push. In the web console, we can find the log file for cloud code. Here we can see that the after trigger function was executed after a new item is saved in parse. This is how to send push notifications by cloud code. The code is similar to what we have done to send pushes in our app, while it is just written in JavaScript. The last way to send out push notification is REST API. The REST API lets you interact with parse from anything that can send an HTTP request. You can do many things with it. For example, you can build a web server to show data from parse with REST API. All API access is over HTTPS and accessed via the api.parse.com domain. The relative path prefix 1 indicates that currently we are using version 1 of the API. You can run the REST API in curl commands in the terminal. Put your application ID and REST API key, which you can find in your app settings. Then you'll need to log in with the user's login information to your app. Just to notice, it is not your own login information to parse. It should be a user's login information from the user table in your app. After you have logged in, you can send push notifications to a channel and set the alert message. This is how to send push notifications from REST API. Now we have gone through all the information about sending push notifications. You need to configure your app to be able to send push notifications in the Apple developer website. Then upload your P12 certificate to the parse, and maybe enable client push there. In your app, you need to make sure that the bundle ID and code signing information are correct. Then you need to add some code in your app to be able to receive push notifications. Here, you can set channels for different users according to their needs. Parse supports push notifications in many ways. You can send from web console, your app, cloud code, or REST API. How to send push notifications depends completely on the requirements for your application.